Hey guys, I'm going to take a little break from the trailer, and a couple of the weekend's acquisitions have come around, and this is one of them. It's from my neighbor. A while ago I traded for a mountain bike I put together for him. He wanted a mountain bike, and then his father-in-law had this down in their basement. Don't know much about it. With the gas tank, but the problem with this is wintertime is here and I already blew out my garden hoses, so I do not have the capacity of putting water to run this and go through it. So maybe we'll save this one till spring. I'm trying to find the horsepower on it. Anyway, we'll keep the suspense on that. And it came with the pressure tank, so that should be good. But another item I did come across was this ryobi, nice little quiet inverter type generator that was on the side of the road for sale, with a couple of other things that someone who was cleaning out their storage, and I called him and he said that it was running, getting harder and harder to start, and then it just couldn't get it to start pretty much at all. So I purchased this for 40 bucks, figuring that probably our issue is going to be fuel related. So I figure we'll go clean up the bench, get some of this stuff off of here. We'll pop that up there. I'll set you guys up with the camera. We'll turn the pellet stove on, get a little bit of heat going in here, and we'll see what it takes to get this guy back in operation, if it gets back in operation. So I cleaned up the bench a little bit, cleaned up the shop, got the heat going, and figure we'll walk around and just kind of give ourselves a little preliminary look at this thing. And I think he was probably a contractor. He had a truck with some writing on the side of it, and it has kind of the look and the patina of something that would be used in that fashion, not a homeowner, judging by the dirtiness of it. On-off switch there. I don't know if that's going to be for fuel. There's a choke here. A couple LEDs. Has a DC output. I don't have the plug for that, but I don't think it would be all that hard to make one up for that. A little reset. Ground lug. And looks like it has the idle circuit, so if you're not drawing current, it'll just go down to a puttering and saving fuel. Looks like it's got a little suitcase looking thing that says push. I would think that would extend. Take it on the airplane with you. It says 2000. It says 2000 starting watts, so that's probably, who knows, maybe 1500 continuous. I don't see it stating anywhere what it actually is, though. So I'd say probably our best bet is to yank some of these plastic bits off and see what the internals look like, and see if we have spark, and kind of start from there. So let me go grab a screwdriver, pop those covers off, and let's go investigate. I popped a couple of covers off, and it looks like it's a 4-stroke overhead valve motor, judging by the valve cover up there. And float bowl looks easy to get to. Let's see what we got for oil in it, if anything. That's low. That's low to know. Wipe that on the rag. See if we can get anything. It might have a low oil shut off too, and that could be the issue what he was having. Yeah, no, it's on the stick. Why don't you go pop that back in? Let's go see if it has spark. It's got a little access hole for the plug up there. And you got a little spark checker. Let's go plug that in. If I can. Sometimes it's easier just to get the plug out of it. But let's see. just enough room. Alright, is everything on that needs to be on? Looks like that's a high. That's on. Don't see anything else. Let's see what we got. So we have spark. That is nice. I think probably what we're going to do is we'll pull the plug out of that. We'll dribble a little bit of fuel down in there, and we'll give it a yank. We'll see if it kind of coughs and dies. And if that's the case, we can move on to pulling the carburetor apart, and we'll clean that. So let me reset, get that plug out of there, and dribble a little fuel in it. I put a little fuel down the plug hole. Let's see if she kind of runs and dies. Runs and stays going. Go plug something in. Yeah, well, that was pretty easy, huh? So I still want to pull that carb because he said he had a hard time trying to get it to start when it was cold and it got harder and harder. So possibly could have an issue still inside there where the choke's not working correctly or whatnot. So I'm going to go pull this stuff out of here, and we'll get a look inside there and we'll see what's happening. I think I scared the natives a little. He's going to get you. So it has a capacity of draining the float ball through a little vent in the side here with a screw. I have a feeling also the on and off switch turns power on and off, and it probably turns fuel on and off. But I figure we'll go and see if we can get that guy undone. And first we'll see if anything comes out of it, and then we'll see what it looks like. See if we get any water or anything. Water generally will show up in a little puddle. Yeah, it's really cloudy. Yeah, it's water. That's the issue right there. So you see in the bottom of it where it's kind of separating out, you see that down below there's a darker puddle. Water's heavier than fuel. The fuel stays on top, so the bottom of that float ball had a bunch of water in it. So I'm going to open this up, see if that will allow us to continue to have flow. Nothing. It might even be out of gas altogether too. Yeah, we're not getting anything. So anyway, it'd be a good opportunity. We got to pull that float ball off of there because we know deep down that it was contaminated with water, so we want to make sure we don't have a bunch of corrosion. So let me get this off of here. We'll get a wrench on the bowl, see if we can wiggle that sucker out of there. We got some tools. This whole thing should probably slide forward. Yeah. Probably get that float ball out of there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it back into place with it still being pushed back like it is. I may have to remove the rest of that air cleaner assembly. I should have, there we go. Have to remove it anyway, right? There. Now we're in. gasket was not in the bowl right. That's not right. So that was allowing air to come in. And probably whenever it turned, I was wondering why the bottom of this machine was so wet. That's what it was. Every time it turned on its side, it was allowing the fuel to piss out of the side of the bowl. And you can see the corrosion that's on the bottom there. That's where that puddle of water sat. So we'll clean that up. I do not know if I have an O-ring for that or not. It's got a little bit of gel going on there too. Fuel starts going bad, it starts getting that jelly kind of stuff. Yeah, there's some in the bottom too. The camera's picking it up. That. So that fuel was turning anyway. It probably had like a stable in it. I've seen it, the red stable, which is the original stuff. When it starts going bad, and actually if you put too much of it in there, it will cause the fuel to actually do that, and to actually turn into jelly. That's probably part of the problem. And again, I don't see us getting any more fuel out of that. Pop the bowl off. Needle and seat rather. And you can see there's some more right on the some more right here. So that's all. And that'll never leave the carburetor neither. So I'm probably going to pull that carb right back a little bit. We'll give her a good rinse and a good cleaning. Clean that bowl out. Do our best maybe. Sometimes you can get that seal back on. If you have the carburetor upside down and kind of looking at it, you might be able to get that back into position. But I'm going to look in my hoard, see if I can go find this first. Again, worst case, we can order that if we have to, I'm sure. I pulled that away, let it hang down, and it started pouring fuel out. That should have been able to flow. Who's fighting me? Come on. That should be able to flow right from there. It's not. So we got an issue, something with fuel, because that should be having a constant flow right now. Gas cat's open. It's not like it's the vent is being blocked like you stick a straw in a drink and you put your thumb over and lift it up, how it stays there. Sometimes gas can do that too if the gas tank doesn't have the proper vent. A CVT even has an on-off on top up there. The cap's off and it's still not flowing, so it's got something causing it to have a restriction. So I took a little bit better look down the side over there. I'm just going to show up, see where that hose is going. That up there I believe is a fuel pump. So it has a pulse pump built into it. So when the engine is running, it probably takes a vacuum signal. Here's the vacuum signal coming across. Gets a pulse and it runs a diaphragm. So when it's moving, it's going to pump fuel. So that's why we're not getting any fuel in the stagnant mode with it not running and having to lower it. Lower than the gas tank is causing it to only time to have a flow. So that's the answer to that, but we still need to clean the carb. So I got the carb cleaned out and the bowls cleaned up. And I'm trying to work with that seal. Gases, I'm running out what's in the tank too. So I want to try to see if I can get that seal. When it's upside down, you have a good shot at trying to get it to go back into place. It's got some memory to the damage that was on there. Just kind of eyeballing it, going around looking at it. I'm not going to get it there. I have to work at it a little bit. I'm going to take that seal and kind of see if I can heat it up with a heat gun and see if I can get it to relax and go back to its original position. One thing you don't want to do is hit it with any kind of carb cleaner. it will expand out of the window where it's any good anymore. So I'm trying to get rid of that pinch right there still. Let me try that. Oh, we just look in our hoard of small carburetor kits, see what we can come up with, and this one, it says Kohler on it, just so happened to have what I believe to be the correct probe ring. So look at that. The hoard pays again. Let's see how that guy fits in there. Much better. And you know, being the hoarder that I am, I will take that old seal and throw it in my little bag of tricks over there for the next time. Alright, gotta figure out what direction that needs to face. I believe it was facing roughly about that way. And I gotta blow into that guy. And our float is doing what it's supposed to be doing. So that's good. Let me go button this all back up again and put some fresh fuel in it. It looks like it's done dripping out of the gas can. I'll blow that out with a little bit of compressed air. And we'll get some fresh fuel in this thing and see how she likes it. So I got it all back together, changed the oil in it too. Not the whopping 6 ounces of oil that it takes. I got gas in it. And I think the only thing that's going to be an issue is I don't know if it will be able to prime itself. I kind of did one of these a little bit, get the gas tank higher than the float bowl, and hopefully it'll kind of force itself through like it was doing earlier. But if not, just giving it a few tugs should get it going. Worst case scenario, we put a little down the spark plug hole and we fire it up again. But let's see what we get. I think that way was choked. We're on. Shall we prime it? I think if you fill the fuel tank up all the way, there would be enough pressure to push it through. But I don't really want to do that because I don't want to put a bunch of gas in this thing and then store it. So that's the only reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because you figure when you buy it, it's not going to have any gas in it and you're going to fill it up. And they're not going to have you pull the spark plug to go start it. Try that. I think that way was choke. Choke should be on.
do it. All right, so at this point, I'm just gonna take it, start putting the rest of the covers back on. But at first, this whole thing needs a nice bath and a cleaning. So I'm gonna take some time to go around it with some something. I haven't figured that out yet. See what works the best, and just to kind of detail it a little bit. I took about 15 minutes or so to put the covers back on, kind of cleaned everything. I ended up using mineral spirits from my parts washer and a little coffee can and a brush, and I did pretty good. It's got some nicks and dings and scratches on it, but it's allowed to. It's used. So let's see what we get now on a cold start. Just make sure that its issue still. That's it. Idle circuit works. Everything it should do. Seems to have plenty of power for what it is. That's it. And it is a on the tag. It's calling it a 1500 with a surge of 2 grand. Those who care to read it, where is it? Yeah, AC power. It's rated at 1500 with a spike of 2000. So. Decent unit, and they're supposed to be very comparable to the Honda units as far as noise quality. I don't know about that, but as far as the like or the value to everybody is how quiet they are. If they're running a camper or something, they don't want to hear a generator screaming away. But if you can put this behind the unit and have it just kind of putter away, they're pretty decent. So I'm glad for that. The only thing I haven't checked is for DC output, but I don't suspect that should be an issue. That's it. I think they're about between $500 and $600 new. So you figure half a new, it's probably worth about $250, especially if a storm comes around. So that's it, guys. Again, thanks everybody for watching, commenting, subscribing. The seller who sold this had 2 other pieces out there. He had a pressure washer and a snowblower. So everything he said with this was true, and sometimes you just don't know. You can find something like this, get it, and go through it and find out that you clean the carburetor and then the power part of it is no good. So I'm going to go back and take a swing by, see if those other 2 pieces are there, and maybe make an offer on them. So a teaser for the future maybe. Thanks guys, later. And just to sum up what our problems were, the O-ring for the carb, I don't know if that was done from the factory or somebody tried cleaning the carb and just did not get it back together correctly, which I would probably suspect is what really happened. And then again, it just had water in the bottom of the fuel. Let's settle to the bottom, and you can see that little lower blob kind of taking a little second to respond there. They don't run on water, not well anyway. And I'm back at the scene of the crime. There's the Toro snowblower, and then they had a pressure washer that was there. I don't see any hoses for the pressure washer, and the Toro does not have electric start, and it's missing the tin for here, and overall appearance of it is it's got like overspray on it and everything. So aesthetically it will be challenged when it's up and running. It's a good machine, but all depends what he wants for it.